I am KTAP4321. I'm joined by Neo Nonane. And we are here for another match. Or we can say it's the graveyard shift tonight. So how are you doing, Neo?
I am doing fantastic, KTAP, and I'm very excited to see how this match is going to go tonight. How about yourself?
I'm excited because it's going to be the last race we're finishing up on tonight. And it's been a doozy of races tonight. I know I've been watching.
Oh my goodness, it's been all over the place, and that's how it's been going for this first week of the first Swiss week of this tournament. Which for everybody here who's coming along, I imagine you've seen a good amount of these at this point in time. But what we're doing here is we're going through our first Swiss week, first of 6. As everybody gets an opportunity to play against everybody else. We get seeded to 2 different brackets, one at 64 people, and another one at 28 people. And you heard it right. That is quite a few people playing in this tournament here. And once everything is all said and done, we'll be churning through the tournament overall, right? As we go through. So it's going to be pretty exciting. We've released the 2 players, and we're waiting for them to process.
I mean, it's already been exciting. We've had crazy item locations. We've had unexpected upsets. We've had also just a lot of Triforces and item shenanigans in hand. What else can you expect?
Exactly, and that's the real key of what we've been seeing is upsets. So for people who oh, and by the way, we have a start over there at the Armos, and for people who are watching, we'll have our synchronization up and running in just a second between the 2 different runners, while we go ahead and do a little bit of quick math on the difference. But the overall, the upsets have been coming because of the way we're doing this flag set, among other things. We have a fun new little piece about intra-dungeon shuffle, where every dungeon that has a heart is still guaranteed to get a heart, but maybe it's on the floor, maybe it's in a staircase, and it's driving things crazy all over the place. Gambles, digs that don't need to happen, etc. It's going absolutely nuts.
And on Shton's side, we have level 4, while on EMS's side, we have a mid-secret of 35 rupees.
Very nice. 35, not too bad, all things considered. Could definitely be worse.
Definitely could be worse indeed. And now we're starting our long trek around in the overworld. And looks like we have darkness on the overworld tonight. And a book weight sword item. Never mind.
Alright, and we got Shton going ahead and picking up the wood sword over there at the vanilla leather cave. And by the way, was that the wand I just saw on the coast?
Yes, you did. We have wands on the coast.
Well, that's going to be helpful in general for all the potential combat opportunities we're going to run into here. But of course, with these dark nuts on the overworld, the wand is going to help us make some easy work out of them if we can find that ladder good and early.
Yeah, the if is very important, but we also have hints right here. Up in the tippy top northeast corner.
And hints can be useful. If we can find some cash hanging around over there, we can absolutely go ahead and get some value out of that. And by the way, EatMySteel also getting an opportunity to see this 4 over at the Northern Armos.
Indeed, and maybe we'll see what's under this Armos spot.
Well, we got our item, and so the Coast Heart's going to be shuffled somewhere. Knowing that it ended up on the overworld, over on the Armos side, is definitely good, because that guarantees us that every dungeon's going to have something in there that's really useful to us. And unfortunately, that's a little rough death for Shton there.
And back to start he goes, but let's see what route he's going to take this time, because I think Death Mountain's going to be put off for quite a bit.
And let's add an extra piece about some of the changes that we're doing here from what people might have noticed. Is we have extra candles turned off. Now, if you've been watching any of these flag sets as of late that are not tourney flag sets, extra candles is probably the best quality of life thing that I've ever seen in my life in this game. But it's not here now, which means our runners have to find that red candle or have to scrape up enough cash to buy a blue candle somewhere.
Yeah, and the blue candle can either be somewhat cheap or overly expensive.
Yeah, there was a match the night before, where the blue candle was not only pricey, but it was the rare shop, and it was hidden all the way up in West Death Mountain. So if you're running something like that, it's going to be real challenging to get to these spots.
How much was that candle?
You know, off the top of my head, I want to say it was like 79 rupees. Though I'm sure if anybody's watching, who was watching that race the other night, it was with Jess, and Jess and Truant. Then they make it. Feel free to correct me. And by the way,
we have level 2.
Sorry.
We have a map of level 2.
A map of level 2, and that means we have to bomb to get our way through this level 2.
We gotta figure out what that level 2 looks like.
Name that ink plot.
We'll name it later.
We're not worth taking a trip in there right now. Sure, we could pirouette that door to the left, but at this point, too small enough. You want to dig for all the items that you can find and the Triforce, and there's just no way where we're going to see any more than one more room.
Speaking of pricey candles?
Yeah, pricey candle. Nice price for that candle, though. Picked up at 1Q5.
Yes, that candle is a very nice price. But you do know, I believe, with our book being our white sword item, that means that we're going to probably be able to get hints tonight.
Yeah, that'll be real exciting, especially at 35 mid-secret is really going to rack up the cash pretty quickly. Incidentally, we've seen 2 candle shops now, so we know it's not the rare shop, which is good to see. But racking up that cash, I mean, you got the choice. You're going to spend that on something like a blue candle or bait or any of those fun things, or are you going to actually sit back and try to aim for popping that out with some hints?
But I also bring to you, while we have seen, the blue candle's not our rare shop, we have also not seen our price of bombs.
That is true. That very well could be our rare shop. And boy, that's an any road that doesn't seem to have a whole lot of value right now.
A bunch of nuttin'. And, well, that's a power bracelet spot off the map.
Yeah, that it is. An 83 large secret over on Shton's side over at the 1Q potion shop. That's a thing.
It's not the worst.
Not the worst, but that medium secret's gonna be doing some heavy lifting.
We have a Triforce. 7 required to go into 9 tonight.
Righty. Well, there's at least one dungeon that we can take off the list, but which one our runners are going to have to figure it out. Which, as we were talking about the upsets, that's a huge factor on this. You don't need all your Triforces. You need between 5 and 8 to get in. And today it's going to be 7. What do you skip, and are you skipping the right thing?
So from what I've seen in this flag set, level 6 has typically just been absolute chaos of
That's
a
very
dungeon.
polite way.
Well,
very polite reference.
From the sample size I have seen, level 6 has just been pain and suffering.
Having been playing in this tournament, I will tell you, it is in fact correct. Level 6 is nothing but pain and suffering in this set. And if you're going to dig it, I mean, you got to make a choice. If you're going all in on that, especially early, it better pay off. And if it doesn't pay off, oof, you are not in a pretty spot. Speaking of lack of pretty spots, Paul's voice over in 4, being friendly.
But we did find our arrow shop.
We did. It looks like the only thing we're missing major is exactly what you said, K-Tap. It's our bombs.
Oh gosh, I willed that into existence. Looks like I brought the commentator's curse on the bombs rare shop.
You may have. And looks like we're going to get a screen scroll from Shton to go ahead and try to pirouette open that locked door in 4. That's a good call. And we've been seeing a lot of key blocks already. This is going to really remove that from the board. And hopefully it opens up something important.
Well, let's see if there's something of interest here pretty early on.
Oh, never mind. I'm not interested in that.
I do not want to deal with left.
What does this put us at? 83 for large, 35 for mid, and 4 for the small secret, I think? Oof.
That's left mole dorm. Oh. No, Land Molas. My brain can't think now. Left Molas, no.
It's not pretty. It is not pretty.
Especially with only a wood sword and 4 hearts to your name.
I gotta tell you, speaking of that like the sprite set that Shton's doing, it is driving me crazy. Because that sword looks like it's a white sword. I know it's not, but I also love it, right? That's like classic Link's Awakening DX over there, prior to DX even. And it's just looking smooth. I think that's fantastic.
Well, there's also something to bring up. EMS got a bomb drop on the floor somewhere, so maybe we'll start seeing some of our bomb hole checks. And Shton takes a similar death to what EMS did earlier on the same screen.
Ouch! 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 That bomb drop is helpful, right? Because now we get our first set of bombs. We can do. Oh, that hurts. That hurts.
Not if we get sniped by Gorilla boomerangs.
Oh, blue Gorillas, you're breaking my heart. Well, the bombs at least can go ahead and get us a 10 count. You know, if we can kill 10 enemies in a row without getting hit, that 10th enemy, if they die to a bomb, they'll give you some bombs. The ever elusive 10th enemy is the bomb hint from the classic Zelda. But the global has been kind of rough for both of these runners. We haven't actually seen a real drop, short of what EatMySteel got there.
But we have another move.
That 1Q8 burn bush. Now, it always feels to me like in this mixed first quest overworld flag set that burn bush never opens. I know statistically it's like 35%, but it feels like it never opens up.
So, Neo, do you think the rule of 5 applies here?
About to find out. It sure does. Oof. That's got to be a real statistic. That first room is always such a transport.
It would be very interesting to see if there was ever someone ever decided to compile all that data. I mean, once it's in a data set, it's easier to analyze. Compiling it is the hard part.
Well, that's a fantastic point, K-Tap. It absolutely is, and
ooh, we got a Kanana key from EMS.
We do, and that's fantastic in these dungeons here that we've been running into with so few candles that are in play. And by the way, we knew Wizrobes were going to be in the dungeon, but not like this. Not like that.
You don't want to see it like that. But this level 5 looks like a moose.
I can see moose there. A little looking to the right, you get the antlers pairing back.
We have some hints or something in this level 5.
Yeah. Now, I wouldn't actually pick up this key if I was EatMySteel. Yeah, exactly. He's gonna up an A and try to Kanana key the second lock over there in the U column that he's got, and that's gonna be key, I think. Then you now know where the key is, no pun intended, of course. And then you can go ahead and wrap around that way. Or maybe he's going to actually try to Kanana key this one. Though I think he's been in the room below, so it's really not as...
He's been in the room below, but this is a key strategy.
I see what you did there, K-Tap. Oh, he hasn't been in that room yet. I thought he had.
Oh, I was thinking of the room next to that. But we got Wizrobes here. But luckily, EMS has 7 bombs. And sword beams.
Very nice. Nice and easy kill on them. Get some more bombs. And Shton going ahead and finding another take any there. That's 5 hearts. That's a pretty good chance to go ahead and be able to pick up the book. We know you can't do it on 4, but you might be able to do it on 5.
Is it just me, or are the moblins just blending in very good on EMS's side?
Oh, yeah. There's, mechanically speaking, there's some answer here that I don't recall exactly. But there's definitely a shared palette between blue moblins and certain levels that you're in. And Shton got the information on 9.
Both our runners have the information on level 9 now.
Now, we can't bomb up through EatMySteel's spot right over there that he's at with the old man. We know that we have to go up through that blue Wizrobe room, which is just disgusting. No Kanana key potential, so that key is now necessary to go ahead and proceed in the rest of 5. Or he can take the transport.
That's an option that EMS is willing to take.
I'd take that too before I go in that blue Wizrobe room. It's not the best.
Because one of the things I have been noticing with this flag set is that resource management has been more important than ever. Because sometimes you're clearing dungeons you might not even pick up the Triforce for, and is that considered a waste of resources, or worth it to dig out the item you need?
That is an incredible point, and again, it's not. We don't have a statistic that says this, right? But it feels in these seeds that the bombs drop less often. Obviously, that's not true, but it feels that way. And it really feels like keys are just gone at all times. So, you're 100% correct. Resource management is the key being able to win these seeds, getting your globals correct, getting your forces correct, getting everything at the right times.
What also is important, we have 5 hearts is enough for the book.
Very nice.
What I was going to bring up is that it's also important to take what resources you have and determine what dungeons you're going to be clearing. Because, for example, you have something like level 1, which is very key heavy. And if you don't have a lot of keys, you're not going to make a lot of progress until level 1 unless this game is generous with you.
You get lucky and find the magical key in there, the any key, that'd be pretty nice.
But some dungeons have more intense resource requirements than others, and that is another thought of approaching this game.
Absolutely. It's and going back to the whole data thing, it's not a disproportionate amount of times, but it's one of those, it feels like the any key is always a 9. Like you're never actually having it when you go through and you start running these pieces. So you really have to focus on those keys as much as you possibly can. Which, by the way, 5 has reached the point where EatMySteel has decided, nah, we're good. We're gonna move on here.
Man, I'd love one day if there was some way to just compile, like, just getting all the data from all these seeds. Like, once you get all that data compiled, then I could probably, me or someone else who's probably good at, or other community members good with data analytics, would probably just do some coding and some math and put some statistics together. That sounds like a hefty project.
Not as hefty as you'd think. Slamu actually went ahead and did a nice presentation the other day with some metrics about this exact piece. So, stay tuned.
Well, I'm gonna have to message because maybe I might want to do this. I might want to help pitch in.
Very nice. We'll keep that in mind. Now, we've actually lost our feed over on EatMySteel. Hopefully it'll come on back in just a moment or so. Oh, it comes back at the wrong time. Dying just south of that vanilla letter cave that we have. Now, how long are we going to go ahead and see Shton dig into this 5?
Well, we see I see one hint on Shton's side that we already know, but at the grave is an entrance to death. Did we see what the other hints were from the old man, or will we find out momentarily?
Hopefully momentarily. We haven't seen them quite yet. He picked up the book just before he went into 5. And by the way, we're going to tread some new territory here in 5. And we've only seen that one old man in 5 so far. Oh, spending the key, earning a key, worth it. By the way, there's 7.
Oh, there's our item room, I think.
Oh, it could be. What are we going to find?
We have level 7 on EMS's side, an obnoxious highlighter yellow.
It's one of those highlighters, too, that, like, it's been too close to the green marker, so it's just slightly tinged and you hate it.
It could be worse.
I believe that's a white sword, isn't it?
Yes, it is. We got a stabby stick now. Well, an extra stabby stick. But oh!
I was gonna say, you know, Shton getting the offensive upgrade that EatMySteel missed because they were having a little bit too much trouble in 5 and chose to transport over that door. But there we go, making up for it with the defensive upgrade found in 7 very early on, though. So Shton finds 7. Shton decides to dig 7 and not just skip it. Shton's gonna get something out of this.
Well, Shton has his item already out of here. As the Triforce can leave and never come back.
We are all done here, and that's our first Triforce on the board, incidentally, over on Shton's side. Now keep in mind, we only need 7 of them, so we can take one of these dungeons and we can just throw that Triforce hunt right in the trash. The only question is which one are we going to choose?
But we did find our bomb upgrade at a whopping 112 rupees.
Yeah, and that's actually another fun part of the flag set here. So there's going to be 2 bomb upgrades, generally speaking, in any of these seats. And they can either both be in 5, they can both be in 7, or 1 in 5, 1 in 7. So we just saw 1 in 7. We haven't seen 1 in 5, and to be fair, I don't think anyone's going back to that. So let's actually see how that goes with the 7 bomb upgrade.
Well, let's see if our runners are going to have enough money in time to pick it up.
I know, EatMySteel was pretty close, but, you know, going back to our previous point, that's cash that could be well spent on hints right now.
Or arrows.
Or arrows.
Or even worst case scenario, keys.
Which that might not be the worst. Might not be the worst idea that we've ever heard of. Just with the
Well,
way everything's
EMS
going.
now found another take any, and once he gets around to picking up that book, he'll be getting it.
Yeah, that was the take any that put Shton over the edge for the book too. So hopefully we'll see a similar path from EatMySteel to go ahead and get there. Oh, and now we have the left molar room for Shton. But the bomb went off really well. That's yeah,
That
spend the
worked
bomb,
out
clear the room.
favorably. Left molas will burn. Oh, it's the Triforce. Nasty. Shton got bailed out by those bombs of what would otherwise be a pain in the butt to clear.
Now that item that we have down there, that is the heart, and because of this intra-dungeon shuffle, we know that on the floor in 4, there's something fun. Oh, EatMySteel has found one, and EatMySteel is not happy with that Patra.
I wouldn't be either.
Screen lagged ever so slightly at that point, but he was just getting ready to bomb the forgotten spot, so I'm going to go out on a limb and say that 1 is probably right about there, since we saw everything else that was in close proximity at this point.
But so far, like, the left mola's room was towards the start of the dungeon, and so is that item. Well, the stair heart. We don't know what our second item is. If it's here, it's going to be a very quick level 4.
Yeah. Oh, there's a map to help out. Ooh, that's a fun little...
That's a key.
Upside down key, yeah.
Oh, there's a mugger room right there.
Joke's on him. Neither has bombs nor keys. So
Well, joke's on the mugger. Shton's broke.
All right, let's see. Is it worth just getting that Triforce now? Now we can just go ahead and drop some fire on that rope and take the Canana key here, right? Oh, EatMySteel. What are we doing?
Shenanigans.
Beautiful.
There we go. And there's a power bracelet.
Power bracelet. That may be necessary. Now, we mentioned that we are on a mixed first quest overworld. That means we have our normal 4 power bracelet spots, plus an additional 5, I think, on top of that we go ahead and we open up by bringing second quest spots in there. 4 of which are guaranteed. The remainder all have about a 1 in 3 shot, give or take.
But we did see one of our power bracelet spots belonging to the Any Roads.
You're absolutely correct. The push block at the grave, I think it was, right? Was the spot for it?
I don't remember. I'm just going to smile and nod. But Shton picks up his Triforce out of 4 and second Triforce on the board tonight.
Very, very nice, all things considered. So that's a 2 Triforce lead, but you know, I mean, Shton hasn't seen where 1 is for sure. And EatMySteel has a pretty good amount of overworld exploration, overworld knowledge going on right now. Not to mention that power bracelet may very well open up areas, and that 1 is a 1, huh?
That's a 1 indeed, a triple segmented 1.
Oof. That's all I can say about that one. Oof.
Oof, indeed. What does it look like to you?
I don't even know. I mean, it looks like something's trying to... It's falling apart over there.
You know, I'm trying to think of first quest. You know which is the one that level 1 looks like the Eagles? That first quest or second quest? Is my brain's failing you?
Second quest, they look like letters. Oh, the Wall Master! Oh no!
So for me, level 1 looks like someone broke apart first quest 1 a little bit.
Yeah, I can see that. It's trying its best to hold itself together. It's not working. And we haven't given it the attention it deserves, by the way. The bow was on the floor in 1. EatMySteel picked that up. So we're in a pretty good spot right now on our way to go mode.
Thanks for telling me. I didn't even notice it there. I was too paying attention to the Wall Master.
The Wall Master was a very distracting piece. Do not get me wrong. They can just destroy your happiness in a seed ever so quickly.
But besides the Patra here, the enemy set in this level 1 has been very easy to deal with.
Yeah, it's not been so bad. And incidentally, Shton now finding that red ring, I mean, it was so quick and easy in 7, he was guaranteed to. The only question mark was whether 7 was going to be one of the 7 Triforces that we went for.
Like, look at this in level 1. Like, everything's falling to 1 wood sword hit.
Oh, but we need bombs, and we don't have any. That's the end of one for us.
Well, that's time for EMS to take the walk of shame, either to go find a bomb drop from a lucky enemy, or maybe find the rare shop somewhere in the world.
It's not that far off the cost to go ahead and get that bomb upgrade.
Oh,
Five more
returns on
rupees.
Death Mountain.
Interesting, 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 interesting. Oh, that means we have a trip up to West or East Death Mountain in our future.
Indeed. Whatever will level 8 have for us?
You know, maybe something good, maybe something not. I mean, we haven't seen all of our levels, of course, but we also haven't seen any indicators we need to go to Death Mountain for anything other than 8. So maybe 8 has nothing we care about. Maybe that's the level we choose to skip today. We'll find out. And that is exactly what makes these seeds so interesting, is how that thought process goes and where you looking to take a gamble or willing to take a gamble versus not. Now, incidentally, Shton going ahead and picking up that red ring over there in 7 has really closed that gap that EatMySteel may have potentially put in play from a defensive perspective by getting that red ring early. Because Shton's got the white sword, Shton's got the red ring. They're both doing well defensively, but that offense can potentially make a world of difference right now. Especially when you take a look at those blue whiz robes and take a look at those Paul's voice and how hard it is to go ahead and take them down.
But EMS picks up a key. Has a key to his name, but only 3 bombs. Gotta clear all these tech types out for the Triforce.
By the way, how about that 7, huh? Taking a look at that. Oof.
Chunky boy.
Alright, EatMySteel picking up that Triforce over there in 1. Getting on the board.
So with 7 being this chunky, that means we're gonna have a smaller level 9. Oh, ew. For 112 rupees, you only get a +2 bomb upgrade.
Well, I want to say it could be worse, but to be fair, I'm actually not sure how much worse it could be in that scenario. But at least it's 2 bombs, right? I mean, it's 2 bombs you didn't have a minute ago.
Yeah, I mean, on the bright side, it is a full bomb refill at the end of the day.
Oh, it's time for EatMySteel to pick up that book. Get prepared to start seeing the hints in the dungeons, but also, I see a save coming. Maybe that's a save scum coming.
This means hint time?
It very well may. The hints could be really helpful now. We're almost 30 minutes in. We have 1 Triforce for EatMySteel, 2 for Shton, and we still don't know where everything is. Heck, we don't even know where, half the dungeons are at this point. So, yeah, a little less than half. So, yeah, I can absolutely see the choice to go ahead and buy some hints right now and see if we can't get directed into a good position. Oh,
alright, let's find out. Aquamentus awaits with the bow. We already knew that.
Retry's good, but didn't we have money for the cheap hint there, too? Oh, I mean, I guess if we're going back anyways, right? We're going to have to take 2 trips regardless of how you look at it.
So I wonder, are these going to be actually helpful hints, or are they going to be useless?
Another arrow shop, which, I mean, knowing that we know, at least from our side, where the bow is, arrows wouldn't be bad if you had the money for it, which I know Shton doesn't. But it wouldn't be bad if you had the cash for it. Oh, Goma creeps with a silver arrow!
Cool.
Well, we were talking about the fun of, and EatMySteel now knows where the white sword is, we were talking about the fun of going into 6. Well, going into 6. Now we just have to find it.
And EMS is save scumming the money because it's gonna be a bit pricey, this seed.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, here's where we can see a big advantage come EatMySteel's way. We know that right now there's that 6 has the silver arrows, and we need these silver arrows out of 6, right? We're well aware of that. So, I'm buying the arrows. There you go, because we don't know where 6 is. If we were going through and we were saying, hey, you got the power bracelet, if you really leaned in and started going into power bracelet checks, what if that level 6 was under the power bracelet? That would be a huge step ahead for EatMySteel right now as compared to Shton. It could really close any potential gap that's being built. But you have to bank on something
in
like
the
that.
forest. Remind me which Dig Dogger is.
Oh, Dig Dogger is 5.
Right. This is level 5.
The you are here.
I know there's a document of all this stuff. I'm just too lazy to pull it up right now.
Yeah, no, and thank you, chat, for jumping in. Yeah, the names absolutely correspond to the bosses of the vanilla dungeons, save for technically 7, because I mean, I guess the boss is a room of Gurias, I think. Even though Aquamentus is the quote-unquote boss bot, it doesn't really matter. At the end, Gurias used because that dungeon's full of Gurias. And it looks like we found our magical sword, by the way, over there in the western side of Candle Row. Oh, and of course, level 9 is an entrance to death rather than saying Ganon is whatever. Playing off the original hint of Spectacle Rock is an entrance to death in Vanilla 1. Oh, and dropped in chat by Rex, the wiki. Guys, our wiki is fantastic. It's relatively new. It's been a great update. Go take a look at it. By the way, Shton found what we believe is to be the rare shop with the blue ring at 230 rupees. Don't have to worry about that. And finally, we found some
bombs. Oh, wait. Oh, it's 14 rupee bombs. I'm seeing it now.
And you know what? It's at 1Q1. It's not even like it's a bad, or I guess technically 2Q1 too. But that's not even a bad spot to go ahead and find these, find this bomb shop. I mean, sure, we're not super close to it, but like it's quote-unquote central-ish.
Well, Queen Whitney was saying earlier, please check out the wiki. A bunch of our community members have been working on it and put a lot of hard work, sweat, and tears into it. And it's a wonderful resource for runners and commentators alike.
And you know what? While we're calling attention to things that are great resources for commentators, I want to call attention to one that we have some access to here. And that's Potato Pony, a member of the community who is fantastic and one of the people particularly good at data, has been extracting and extrapolating the information vis-a-vis everybody's races here on racetime.gg for quite some time. So we have the Potato Pony stats sheet here, which tells me that by the way, EatMySteel finding that white sword, it tells me that EatMySteel and Shton have only ever played in 2 head-to-head races against each other. And they have each taken 1 win, so they're 50-50 in head-to-head. But they've been in 35 shared races together, and EatMySteel has an edge over Shton in terms of finish time, with 21 versus 14 of those. But what this really says is that we're pretty darn even between these 2 runners going into this.
And you know what also? What resource we have on hand right now? We have our tracker! Camion Renikai is basically the one keeping all the eyes on what our runners were finding and also pushing the buttons so we know what our runners are finding. And I know I'd be lost without our trackers.
Yeah, and this is a great piece to add here too. Not only is Camion doing a fantastic job as tracker, and trackers are incredibly necessary, or else we don't get these shows on the air without somebody to click these buttons and make that clear. But right now, we are going through and we are building out this entire Z1R 2025 tournament. I mentioned we have 6 weeks of Swiss, Triforce and 5 for EatMySteel. I mentioned that we have 6 weeks of Swiss here, and then we have a 64-person bracket that we have to go ahead and churn through, and a 28-person bracket that'll run simultaneously. That's a lot of players running. There's a ton of races every single week going on. And the more people in the community who want to combine, instead of just watching there in SpeedGaming or on the Z1R Twitch stream, instead of looking at all of those pieces, if somebody can come through and join us on commentary or join us on the on tracking purposes, we would absolutely love it. Our community is incredibly welcoming, and we're more than happy to spend the time getting you prepped and pumped to go and join us in those roles. Community, tracking, and even restream on sometimes commentary, tracking, and restream. So please, if you have any interest in that, go ahead and check out our schedule. Come join our Discord, and we'll get you up and running.
Because I know we're trying to get as many of these races as we can on the air, but there's only so many of us.
Alright, EatMySteel is now back into 4, cleared that room that he had some challenges with earlier, sees that Triforce is there, and 4 with the arrows is going to feel a lot better than it did for Shton.
Yeah, but EMS doesn't have that hint about the silvers, though. I'm trying to remember to. Do both of our runners have the hint about 8 being on Death Mountain?
I believe they both have the hint about 8. EatMySteel has the one about the silvers, not Shton, so that's going to be interesting. Though they both have the power bracelet, so my idea and my hope of it being power bracelet blocked is not that useful anymore. In chat, who's asking about the opportunity to sign up, you're right, I normally have the link prepped, and I don't have it right now. However, there is a bunch of really good members of the community in chat right now, and if they wanted to do a lovely, lovely favor and drop the link to join us in our Discord right into chat, that would be super helpful right now.
So now that we sent out the call to arms for getting people to help out and volunteer.
I love it. All right, and there's that Triforce out of 4 for EatMySteel. That was a quick 1-2 punch there. That really, not only closed the gap, but took the lead in terms of Triforces.
So I'd say we'd have EMS has the slight advantage due to having that knowledge advantage of the silvers being in 6.
You know, I'd say the knowledge advantage of the silvers is a huge thing, 100%. And let's add to that they both have the white sword now. They both have the red ring now. But EatMySteel has arrows with his bow, and those arrows are going to be a potential game changer because now we have ranged offense that we can use pretty easily at any point in time.
And looks like EMS is coming back to clean up this 7 one last time, or maybe nope, just going for the bomb upgrade. Okay.
Hey, nothing wrong with that bomb upgrade. Two bombs again for a lot of cash, but you know, it is what it is.
I mean, it really like EMS was like already full on bomb, so it wasn't like as good as a deal as it was for Shton, but
true.
we're gonna do more overworld checks now.
Yeah, and Shton going ahead and picking up that that Triforce in 1, so we are now at an equal count, and this is right on back to anyone's game.
It's anyone's game indeed, because we're still missing quite a bit of our dungeons.
Oh, we absolutely are, and we still have to get a trip up to Death Mountain because we know that there's a dungeon there, and where the other ones might lie, who knows?
Well, I'm gonna say maybe there's multiple dungeons up there.
Exactly. We're still missing 3, 6,
2,
8.
So have we seen 2? Am I going? It's 2, 3, 6, and 8 that we're missing, right?
We saw 2 already. 2 was at the open cave in the desert, I want to say.
I'm gonna take your word for it, because this is why we have trackers for when we forget things like this.
Yeah, and chat's agreeing with us here. I mean, there's definitely an edge over here to steal. Not a huge one, but definitely an edge at the end of all of this. So, you know, let's actually see what that does. And when we find 6, that's really where we're going to know what that advantage looks like. And I mean that for both of our runners. And now EatMySteel, by the way, has found the bombs, not having previously known where they were. But I think it's going to be interesting to see what our runners choose to do at that stage of the game. Because right now, they could very well, you know, Shton could get into 6 and not having that hint is going to bail. Because, hey, you get to skip 1 dungeon. Why not gamble on it being 6, which is completely disgusting? Or maybe not.
But I also want to bring up another point right now. With neither of our runners having the recorder, nor the item that shall not be named,
Yes.
those checks are technically out of logic right now.
Yeah, so we could have potentially, you know, if we went digging in 4, we could find potentially the recorder or the other item, the raft. But we also know that one of the raft spots is off the table because it was in any road. So we're down to a pretty low percentage that we're going to need that one. However, in a mixed first quest overworld, when you start putting those 2Q checks in there, that recorder really can start adding up for some of those overworld checks as compared to just 1 normally over in regular first quest. As evidenced by the screen. Oh, Shton was getting really close to where 2Q6 is over in the grave. You gotta blow the recorder to get that.
I wonder. We're in a bit of a bottleneck right now. What are we gonna find first? A dungeon? A new dungeon, or heading back into 4 for the item in 4?
You know, we are missing, with all the levels that we mentioned that we're missing right now, I mean, they're either A, under a block, or B, they're in Death Mountain. And that's, we see Shton going up that way right now. That's what's left for our runners to dig. You got maybe a couple more power bracelet spots to go ahead and check out, so don't... Oh, I guess it's not the rare shop for the bomb. How about that? You definitely have a few more, Oh, we do have a power bracelet blocks level. Doesn't appear to be 6, though.
Where did you see that? My brain was looking at a screen.
No worries. On EatMySteel's screen, we saw that a feat of strength will lead to the, I believe, the boomerang, rather than the magic boomerang. So, or maybe it was the magic boomerang. Doesn't really matter at the end of the day, because all it says is that there is a level under the push block, so you're going to have to go hunting.
Well, let's see what... Okay, Gleoth lurks with the recorder.
Alright, so now we know where that is. Gleoth returning with the recorder puts that recorder very firmly over into 8. And, was that lurks? I'm sorry, I thought that said returns with the recorder, my bad.
Well, speak of level 8, it appears. And we also have level 6. 2 new dungeons simultaneously.
Good. Well, we do know that that EatMySteel is going to have to go ahead and spend some cycles into level 6, right? And thank you, chat, for confirming. It actually was Gleoth returns. If we could flip that recorder from 4 to 8, that would be helpful. So Shton is going to be poking around in here. Doesn't necessarily know that the recorder is in here. Might find the recorder in here, and that could open up a plethora of spots in there. And so chat saying 6 has magic boomerang and silvers. No, you can only have one item. The other thing will guaranteed be a heart in this flag set, which means 6 having silvers under a push block means that another dungeon is going to be power bracelet blocked. So we have at least 2 dungeons power bracelet blocked right now. And seeing as how, if we take a look at our list here, we saw 1, 2, we saw 4, 5, we've seen 6, 7, 8, 9 now. I guess that narrows it down.
3?
It has to be 3, yeah.
By process of elimination.
Yeah.
Oh, Goma creeps close to start. We kind of know that already.
You are here indeed. Beacon of needing a recorder. Ooh, might actually need it in that room. That actually might be a ladder block in 8. Unless we're going to go ahead and we're going to find some interesting bomb holes here.
Okay, so apparently I missed it while I was checking on Shton's screen. The EMS picked up silvers. According to chat.
Yeah, and early silvers grab is good. I believe we were key blocked out of the rest of 6. So that could have been a pretty good 6 too. Silver's not the hardest to find in the world, but there's also no guarantee.
Oh, looky here on Shton's screen.
I gotta say, for where that's sitting right there, I mean, I maybe take that.
Maybe Shton wants to wait, do a little more digging, or we'll take it if he needs the health refill.
At this stage of the game, again, we're like 42 minutes in. We haven't really seen much of all of the levels, right? We have some gaps that we know of out there. You got to be sitting there thinking to yourself, I'm on Death Mountain. Either Death Mountain's going to have everything, which, well, we know that's not true. That's easily a thought process. Or I'm being blocked by one of the overworld blocking items, and I gotta go find them. And good news, 8 has 2 of them. And without Shton knowing that recorder is one of the 2 of them, why not keep digging, right? Now that Chevy room is not the most appealing room in the world. We've already seen that. Oh, go please.
Yeah, because we know one of our items in 8 is the one. The question is, what is the other item?
Yeah, we're gonna we know for sure the recorder is hanging out in here. It's what we're gonna see after that. Who knows? Now, I would find it. We also know it's not the magical boomerang. Actually, Which, going back to the previous comment, K-Tap, we know by definition that has to be in level 3. Because it's under a power bracelet spot. So we could be talking something big.
No, wasn't it Boomerang that's under required feat of strength, or was it Magical Boomerang? I don't remember.
Chat corrected us that it was Magical Boomerang.
Okay. I'm trying to... Okay, so now that makes sense.
Yeah, so we're in a spot right now, right? In terms of where we're at, like this 8 could have ladder in it, and that could open some stuff up.
Remind me, there was the hint about the recorder, remind me? Was it...
Yeah, there was Gleeok returns with the recorder. That was over by the Coast Hint Shop, I believe, which should tell us that we have a recorder hanging out in this 8. That's all we know so far.
Right, sorry. My brain was looking at the wand icon underneath the recorder and going like, huh, they're both here when they're not.
No worries. We saw that wand on the coast, and if no one finds that ladder anytime soon, we may not be picking up that wand anytime soon.
We're back in level 2 right now, on EMS's side.
Yeah, that's good. We were blocked out of that by something simple. I think it was just bombs. It was the only thing stopping us, and, well, here we are with bombs.
But most likely bombs.
That lack of keys over on EatMySteel side, it just feels bad in this flag set. Always feels like keys are becoming a challenge.
But honestly, minus the couple whiz robes we've seen, combat's been somewhat of a breeze in the dungeons.
Yeah, it has. That white sword early has been helpful, especially against the Paul's voice, because we saw a little bit of activity. Oh, the other one was the red candle in 8. That's not exactly what you were looking for, Shton, was it? Not when you're digging this hard. Oof. We're going for the Kananaki here. Yeah, the Wizrobes were not that terrible. I mean, annoying, but not terrible. Beefy, but their volume has been pretty low.
Well, EMS gets the Kananaki.
Sweet Kananaki, too. I love how on point these two runners have been with their Kananakis this evening.
And also gets rewarded with a key for that Kananaki.
Yeah, Shton has done an 8. It's a lot of digging. You already got one item down. 8 is now just a giant bag of rooms.
Well, I was gonna ask, what does that level 8 look like to you?
I have no idea. Not in the slightest.
But I know level 2 looks like a sword or a dagger, just upper part of a blade, just like stuck in the ground or something.
Yeah, like maybe like a dinosaur at like a campfire in 8. I think if I squint, I can see that.
Yeah, and if I squint, I can see the campfire in 8. So if I turn my head to the right 90 degrees, it looks like maybe one of the squids from Pac-Man. Or not squids, ghosts. Jeez, my brain is thinking in Splatoon right now.
The Inky, Pinky, Blinky, and Clyde, I think, were the original 4, right? Sue showed up in Ms. Pac-Man. I want to say
I believe those were the 4 names.
And this Chevy room, so blocking in 2, which means... Oh, we haven't seen all the rooms in 2. I was going to say, if we've seen everything in 2 by now, that tells us that the ladder can't be in 2, but we have not actually seen everything in 2. So it is not off the table that the ladder is in there. It's, we know it can't be in the Power Bracelet block dungeon, which at the current moment we believe to be 3. And we know it can't be in 9, so that's off the table. Which means...
Well, don't we also know the Magical Boomerang can't be in 9 because a feat of strength is required for it?
Yeah, it can't be in 9 because we already know that 9 is up at 1Q6. So the Magical Boomerang can't be there, right? We know it has to be a feat of strength, and again, process of elimination tells us that that's probably 3. That means that puts us down to the ladder has to be in 2 or 4, I think.
Well, it's time to gamble.
Actually, let's do a little bit more logic here while we're doing that. Because the ladder in the raft can't be in 9, and the Magical Boomerang has to be in a Power Bracelet blocked dungeon, which we believe to be 3.
Any key and the Boomerang are in 9.
You got it. That's exactly where I was going with that. We have most of the things figured out now, save for where's the raft and where's the ladder, and they are split up between 4 and 2, it looks like.
And one of them is required, and one of them shall burn for being useless.
Yeah, that raft, well, it might be needed. We have already seen one raft spot with the Any Road, so it's probably not going to be contributing a lot of value to tonight. So whoever finds that ladder first is probably going to get a little bit of an oomph in terms of this.
Well, I think we're going to find out pretty soon with our runners in their respective dungeons right now.
Yeah, that's true. Both were a little annoying to dig. As chat points out, to be clear, EMS over there has chosen to skip one of the key blocked rooms over into. Could very well be the one that we're looking for.
And I believe this is the Triforce room here. Or was it?
No, we found that a little bit further down. Triforce has already been snagged in 4. In the, I believe it was the left molar room that we were running into here.
Yeah, maybe I'm just getting all my left Molo's rooms starting to mix together in a blur.
We're going to pay the mugger and go forward, and it
was
worth it. I mean, maybe it'll be worth it if, like, the item's on the floor here. It's not. Okay, it was not worth it. Don't. Ooh, Shton. That was a choice.
That was a choice indeed.
Alright. Steel is done in 4. Is that
a 4?
Yeah, is that a ladder block officially in 4?
So does that mean our ladders are 2?
I won't confirm that was a ladder block in 4, but it feels like a ladder block in 4 at this point. Yeah, there was nothing in that room chat bringing that up there. Like, they cleared everything. Even if it was outside the moat, it doesn't change the fact that they couldn't progress north on that side. I don't think that there was an option to progress north on the west side of that dungeon, which says to me, if that's correct, then we're ladder blocked in 4, which means we gotta go to 2 for that ladder. Again, if our logic is correct, and yeah, they both skipped the exact same key door, because they were tight on keys.
And Shton's back in level 2.
Yeah, this is the right call. Going ahead and getting back into this level here. And we have another plug over in chat, which, by the way, plug it all day long. It's one of the greatest things that we have out there as a resource to this community, is the Z1R wiki, showing all cool things like where things can actually drop, where things can move, what level does what, which rooms aren't worth clearing, and which dungeons, all sorts of great things over in that wiki. Go ahead and check it out.
And EMS is checking the rest of Death Mountain.
That's a good call, though. Let's go ahead and poke around in Death Mountain and see what else we find. And Shton has now found that they are ladder blocked. Will they go back and check that locked door? It looks like they will. Yeah, chat. Oh, no, I would agree with you 100%. And there's 3. There's the other push block level. That is going to be our magical boomerang, it looks like. Ooh, we are ladder blocked immediately in 3, though. Oh, we can go left. That's okay. We're fine here. There's our ladder in 2. Oh, we knew it was in there.
That was pretty trolley, though. EMS is probably going to feel a little salty once he gets back to level 2 to find that ladder there waiting for him.
That's true, and that ladder is going to be enough of a game changer that, yeah, looking for keys over there. I was going to say, what's Shton doing? Keys. Yeah, that's going to be enough. This has changed. Shton absolutely has the lead at this point in the game. Oh my god, 3, what are we doing?
And with that, another Triforce on the board for Shton.
What's EatMySteel gonna do? And he's gonna dig this whole 3, right? Because he's looking for the ladder, and the ladder is obviously important, right? Probably thinks that there's nothing left in 2 for him at this point. Maybe remembers that one room. But
wait, was EMS the one that did EMS buy the hit for the magical boomerang, or was that Shton?
He did. So
why would
be able
he
to put 2 and 2 together.
Those magical boomerangs here?
That's a great catch, actually. If he's thinking, you're absolutely right. He won't dig.
Maybe he's just coming in for the Triforce and leaving. Or, hear me out, potential Mags play.
Point. Could absolutely be a Max play here. Alrighty.
Or also maybe trying to grind some keys up for heading back into that level 2.
Keys are huge too. Now, Shton hasn't even seen 6, though, incidentally, which means that silver arrow is still hanging out there. And by the way, with that silver arrow hanging out there, or maybe he has seen 6, I don't remember. I don't think so. Point is, with that silver arrow hanging out there, that is an advantage that EatMySteel has. And Shton may very well gamble on silvers and 9. May very well.
And while stream was frozen, we missed a Kanana key from EMS.
Oh, Manhandla threatens on Death Mountain. How helpful to find that hint here.
Of course.
Oof. This is where buying arrows maybe would have paid off a little bit, though. Cash has been a bit tight.
Yeah, especially when the pose voices are a little out of your reach.
But good ladder clip over there, no problem. Oh, a key. Oh, those are very necessary right now.
And yeah, this is yeah. Oh, is this a 3-segmented level 3? Look at this.
Sure is. We've been having fun with the segments tonight. One had a bunch of segments too, I think, right?
Yeah. Well, I think one was also 3-segmented. So what does this level 3 look like to you?
We kind of like put everything together. You know what? Oh, there's that magical boomerang that we were talking about. Like, if you kind of squish it together, take those 2 in the bottom left and move them underneath, and then kind of drop that top part down. Kind of looks like a lowercase delta, but you know.
Okay, I'll take it. I don't know, maybe I'm just like thinking, you made me think of letters, and then a letter thought of me. Why can I not remember my Hebrew right now? Because it looks like a Hebrew letter right now.
Very well could be. Alrighty, we got that magical boomerang found, not picked up, but found over in 3. We got that Triforce out of 3. EatMySteel is out of 3. And it's time to go hunting to see what else can we find. Now, oh, and there's our raft in 4. We figured that out with logic that it had to be there, but it's good to get confirmation.
Yes, indeed.
Shton picking it up because, you know, 1 spot for raft, but if you didn't pick that up and it turns out that 1 spot was the one you needed, feels bad. Feels bad.
9 out of 10 times, raft is not the answer.
And then you get to that 10th time and oof, it's going to make you curse it even more.
Well, there's a reason I despise it.
Alright, so we've seen East Death Mountain at this point. EatMySteel is all sorts of done with it. Shton got the chance to see West Death Mountain. EatMySteel has not, but EMS is heading over there now.
This is a choice on Shton's side, choosing to dig the 7.
Well, and so this feels a little dangerous to me. I don't believe Shton has seen either 6 or 3. And we know we only need 7 Triforces to get in. So if we're going to go into 7, that tells me that he's going to go find either 3 or 6, get a Triforce, and go. Like, this isn't going to be a try to find the... it would be a matter of convenience to find the silver arrow while you're going ahead and poking around the dungeons.
Also, I'd say very risky digging 7 because 7's a chonky boy. Because, well, 7 being chonky and 8 being chonky, it means we're gonna have a smaller level 9.
True.
So I'd say Shton's hedging his bets.
Yeah, I mean, we're not digging for an item here. We're digging only for the Triforce, and that's got to be the only reason is he's lacking knowledge of 2 dungeons. Most of the overworld cleared at this point in time. Like, you gotta go ahead and roll the dice and come to the conclusion that no matter how you slice it, you're gonna have to you have to skip one level, and it's more likely than not you're going to skip a level you haven't found as compared to, a level that you know where the level actually sits.
And looks like EMS is looking to the ladder in this level 8, but sadly, that is not the answer.
Oh, that's a rough one. Well, let's see how we clear through over on this level 7 over on Shton's side. It's the Wizards aren't that bad as long as they aren't the blue ones. The blue ones are suboptimal for a run.
Indeed, they are suboptimal. But what's not suboptimal is EMS using those sword beams to take out the Stalfo's lickety-split.
Absolutely. And chat, Shton may be digging. I mean, Shton's going for Triforce, right? Like, maybe a max play, but it's just Triforce. He's already found the item in 7. And if he's going ahead and he's investing this much time, it's gonna be a thing. And yeah, EatMySteel did see the hint for the recorder chat, and so they know what one of the items in 8. But I mean, there's a second one we don't know anything about, or rather, we do, but he doesn't. And we've run into 2 ladder blocks so far in 8. Like, might get the hint and say, hey, it's time to get on out of here. But there's still plenty at 8 that could be traversed without a ladder.
Yes, but where I'm also bringing into fact is that the enemy set's gonna be a lot quicker of clearing this level 8 with the white sword and the silvers in hand than for EMS.
Incidentally, now we have that 7th Triforce over in 7, which means Shton still has to find either 3 or 6, both of which are under power bracelet spots, one of which I believe, and correct me if I'm wrong, chat, was by start, and that would be level 6, and level 3 was over at Bogey's Arrow, I believe. And EatMySteel grabbing that Triforce and going. Maybe we are not going to take this 8.
I mean, hear me out. We have the crazier option here. We don't necessarily need the Was ladder blocking 6 or 7 Triforces?
It's a good question. I don't think so, because actually,
so ladder could potentially not be required per se.
It could not be required. What made EatMySteel leave? I think Keys made EMS leave 6, and 3 obviously no ladder for EMS, and he was able to get there no problem.
It looks like EMS is following in Shton's footsteps to clear this 7.
That one's a little bit of a different opinion. Like, you've seen almost nothing in 7. Granted, I know you haven't seen the map, but 6, you've seen a heck of a lot more. You found the items in both of them. So, I choose 7 over 6? I don't know. I mean, maybe it's just because it's right there, right? Rock and roll. You gotta skip one of them.
Well, maybe EMS thinks the ladder is here.
But no, wait, never mind.
Never mind, I'm dumb. I recant my previous statement because he has the red ring from earlier.
Yeah. So, I mean, in knowing that keys were the problem. Oh, there we go. Shton finally buying some hints. Oof. Knowing that they were the problem over in 6, I mean, we're still rocking 2 keys right now over on EMS's side. There's our big hint for Shton.
Now has, I'd say, advantage Shton right now, because Shton now knows that 6 is where the silvers are.
He hasn't seen 6, but he also no longer needs to gamble on anything. So this is a find 6, find silvers, and go at this point for Shton. Probably, I mean, there's a risk. There is a risk that you could be, from his perspective, right? There's a risk that you still need that recorder that you haven't seen and you don't know where it is. We know that we don't. But, oh, actually, yeah, I didn't even think about the ladder spot, so yeah. I mean, obviously, again, not correct, but yeah, something that's popping up there. Ooh, it would have been nice to get that heart before going in.
But Shton's playing with fire on only half a heart. Oh, and Oh, that's interesting. That's the ladder block in 7, potentially.
Oh, it is possible. I mean, Shton did go in there after having the ladder.
Well, we just saw a ladder block in a Chevy room.
Well, that's good. Yeah, I didn't know if that was the only path to the Triforce, but it's still a great catch. So yeah, I mean, we know that we need to get something out of here. EatMySteel probably still thinks that they're done in 2. Or at least they're fully ladder blocked out of 2, so I guess it's time to take 4.
Sadly, this is also not the answer. Shton's now in level 3. Or just leaving level 3.
Yeah, they know they have to go to 6. Like, you're in there, you might as well get the Triforce, not waste any time in 3. Oh, interestingly enough, 4 wasn't actually ladder blocked. It was only on the right-hand side. We were key blocked on the left-hand side. Oh, that was an interesting point.
And I bet EMS is not going to be happy to see that raft.
I like the use of potions there. Might as well drink your blue one before you pick up the next red one.
And Shton, still looking for level 6.
At least we know he's not going to give up till he finds it, right? We're going to get a full clear and no attempts to actually enter 9 or anything like that. Not that he has enough Triforces, but... And we're going to see, on EatMySteel's side, he's going to come up across the raft momentarily. And then when he does, what's the next course of action here? It should be to go back to 2, but if he goes back to 8, then that tells us that he didn't notice that he missed a door over in 2.
Well, we're going to find out momentarily, aren't we?
We sure are. I'm not a fan of the direction that EatMySteel is going in. That makes me feel like we're thinking about an 8er.
Well,
yeah, we're going to 8. We are going to 8.
This is not the right play.
No, that means EMS missed that door entirely, thought that was a full clear of 2 minus the ladder block. We're going to go invest a ton of time in 8, and that's time that Shton's going to make up by grabbing those silvers and getting on to 9. There's going to be a gap of 5, 6 more minutes between these two guys getting into 9, unless EMS gets shut down hard in 8. Something like a ladder block, or... That's really about all the things we could think of at this stage.
Well, for those of you rooting for EMS, that's what you're gonna have to hope and pray in. Well, Shton is gonna make very quick work of this level 6, because I believe the silvers were followed by a compass somewhere.
Yeah, silvers were not that terribly far away from where the Triforce was. Sitting on the floor. Yeah, the other and yeah, by the way, chat, who's bringing it up, the any key and the wooden boomerang are definitely in 9 at this stage of the game, which is a little frustrating whenever you get the any key in those types of situations, because like then you have to be a lot more conservative about your key usage throughout the seed. And for the commentary about finding the 2 items, yeah, I mean he knows that the recorder's in there. If he comes across that red candle pretty quickly, then that's a good reason to leave. Probably generate some confusion, and then we're going to start seeing some backtracking depending on how well things have been tracked. Ideally into 2.
Alrighty. So we're getting further off the path for EMS he's continuing to explore this level 8, while Shton is making quick work at this level 6.
I mean, the quick work is great. I mean, we know where the Triforce is, so as soon as we find those silvers, it's time to go. Maybe Shton will spend a lot more time over in 6 than EMS did, which will make things a little different. And I wouldn't say Red Candle was, like, deep in 8, but I would say it was, like, hefty into 8. You know, you had to put a little investment into getting into that Red Candle, if I remember correctly. Someone who remembers better than I can feel free to to correct me on that one.
Well, yeah. Well, that's an investment EMS is not going to get a return on. But we have a ladder block there.
There are puns over in chat right now, K-Tap. Puns.
Oh man, I must be really tired if I'm not even laughing or catching all the puns.
You know, that having the ladders actually opening up new ground, so to speak, over in 6. And that's actually a little detrimental to Shton, because that is putting us into a spot where like we're looking into rooms that EatMySteel would have, you know, glossed over. So a little bit more time investment.
EMS was funneled into the path to the silvers and the compass. But what is this level 6?
Unhappiness is the phrase I would use. Like a little squat waiter with long hair handing you something on a tray.
Oh, like I'm thinking, I don't know. It just reminds me of, why can I not? But it reminds me kind of like a bit more deformed, but like without the little like beaks type stuff. It reminds me a little bit of the protagonist of Binding of Isaac. But I don't know. This is what happens when it gets this late in the booth. You start seeing things that aren't there.
It is a late night in the booth. That is for sure. Late night crew, and thanks everybody, by the way, who came out to watch this show go on and listen to us go ahead and chatter, and watch Kimmy doing a fantastic job on keeping track of everything over here. We know it's late, but this is some great content, and these are some great runners right now. And this whole tournament, the more support we have for it, the better and bigger these things are each and every year. So people showing up, you guys are contributing just a ton by being here.
And like I'm looking, wow, look at EMS's heart count.
Yeah, it might be worth thinking about mags. I believe we found them over on West Candle Row. I want to say was where
that sounds correct, but I don't even know if EMS will even go for mags, because EMS is probably feeling very behind right now at this hour.
Oh, absolutely. Like, this is a feeling behind race. Got to be feeling that way for both players too, though. Don't get me wrong. I mean, we're
the existential crisis of, is my opponent just gonna hit done and I'm not even gonna see it, or it's just gonna be, well, I'm not even in 9?
Yeah. That's the, you know, you always see like someone pops into 9, you're not even, I'm sorry, hits done, you're not even in 9. You want to hit the forfeit button, say I'm done here, have a great day. But keep in mind, the way that this bracket's going to work out, and Shton going ahead and getting that Triforce, because Shton did in fact get the arrows. That's why we saw some movement over there. It's going to be time for 9.
Oh no, so EMS picked up the red candle. I wonder what's going through his head right now.
I mean, he's got to know, right? Like, he saw the hint. Yeah, he knows. He saw the hint for
He
recorder.
knows.
Now
this
it's
is
time
going
to
to be
look at
an
the tracker.
oh crap. What did I miss marking to?
Yeah, this is going to be a tough one. Knowing that we have to go ahead and pick up more Triforces right now, and Shton is still on the way to going ahead and popping over to 9 right now. So my commentary I was getting at with the whole 9 piece is, you know, it feels bad. Like, let's say hypothetically, and this is not necessarily going to be the case, but hypothetically, Shton goes into 9, goes ahead and clears 9. EatMySteel still has 2 Triforces to go. It's not the end of the world, you know? I mean, maybe you take a loss, but this is the Swiss round. Anybody who takes a 3-3 record is still going to move into the top bracket. And, you know, the tiebreakers are all going to be based off of, you know, your Buchholz record, but also the difference in time from your losses. Oh, good. EatMySteel figured this out. So unless you're going to go ahead and you're going to lose by more than 30 minutes, it's always worth it to finish your race here.
Yeah, because as you were saying, time differentials do help with the seeding for the brackets.
Absolutely. Now, is that going to be our kidnapped up there? Let's find out.
So have you heard any roars yet?
Not one, but to be fair, it's hard to hear roars when I won't shut up over here, so we'll see how we do. I'll be quieter this time. See if we can't hear anything interesting.
So we gonna have Z1R ASMR?
Awesome. We're gonna take a stare over there, over a 9, and see what we do. By the way, EatMySteel over on the left has decided to go dig back into 2, as we saw, has found what they're looking for, and they're heading on up for that Triforce into.
So as someone in chat brings up, the good point here, I'd say to remember that Silver's hint really is what kind of gave Shton the edge here. Otherwise, we could have seen a gamble into 9 and lose play. Oh, I didn't see where EMS picked up the ladder, but EMS did pick up that ladder.
Yeah, just before
that.
Yeah, and they went into 2. They knew exactly where they needed to go once they saw that map. They just beelined it there, got their ladder, got the Triforce, and got out.
It happens. Mismarking maps, it happens. But as I mentioned before, due to our sizes of level 7 and 8, yes, we have a very tiny level 9. Though, what is this level 9 look like to you?
A blob. I got nothing more entertaining than that. Maybe a duck with like a fedora.
Okay, I'm going here.
Roar.
I think it's a sandworm.
I could see sandworm. That is a roar. We know that we are in the southwest of the skull. There's not a lot of rooms in the southwest of the skull here, and that just told us exactly what room we are looking for now.
Yeah, it's only a process of elimination, though we have not seen the kidnapped yet.
Or have we seen a hint supporting it?
What we do see is a mugger room.
Mugger's always fun.
Oh, I just realized Shton has 0 bombs.
That they do. That can be a little rough.
That's very concerning.
Now we're going to pop up here and then head straight to the right, it looks like. Oh, but no bombs to get there with. Yeah, that looks like it might be a time to get out and get those bombs. No, we're going to keep going in.
Maybe Shton wants to try looking for Zelda's room.
Possible. I mean, there's got to be bomb droppers somewhere in the dungeon, right? By default. And those guys don't count if they don't go down in at least a bomb hit, which I don't think they do.
And EMS is in 6. And will soon be in 9 momentarily.
Oh, things very well could be getting equalized here. 9 is the great equalizer, of course.
Especially with EMS having 4 keys and 7 bombs.
Triforce out of 6 for EatMySteel, now eligible to enter 9.
And I think
yeah.
Shton's not leaving for bombs.
No, chat's saying some very interesting things. What if the Ganon's access or the path to the kidnapped is blocked by a dig dogger? Would be a huge piece right now.
Oh, we'd be here for another bit of time.
I mean, technically speaking, it could be potentially annoying because they would have to go dig for the recorder. EatMySteel knows where the recorder is. Shton doesn't by hint, but by definition does, because they have seen. Oh, actually, no, they have not seen the magic boomerang in 3. Never mind, they don't know that. So interesting.
Some EMS has that. Who has the hint about the boomerang in 3?
EatMySteel does.
Oh lordy, I hope it's not Dig Dogger blocked Zelda.
Be quite
Otherwise, you're gonna be here for another like 30 minutes.
Yeah, we will. Be fun. Oh, well, we get a stair here. See where it takes us. We can find a nice magic stair that will take us to both Zelda and to Ganon. Oh, we hear him. We know where he is. We need to bomb to get to him. He's one left to the room that we are currently in right now on Shton's side. Yeah, I know. It's perplexing. What are we gonna do from here?
That is a question. Because EMS has bombs, and as he makes his way to the right, we'll get that hint about the beast being in the southeast of the skull. And Shton's having to do the walk of shame, despite being in line for a little more time. This could go either way right now.
Really could. And that hint, the beast is in the southeast of the skull. I mean, that's just a perfect hint, because as soon as you enter that room, you can hear Ganon roaring. Right? So you already know where he is anyways. But man, a kidnapped hint would really be something.
Honestly, right now it's going to depend on level 9 routing, with level 9's nickname of being the 8, living up to its nickname of being the Great Equalizer once again. So it looks like EMS is going to be taking transports.
Transports will get us around, and I mean, hey, it's the I like that chat. Yes, I mean there can be a hint for the kidnapped. Compass obviously would be great too, and a hint for the compass would also be good. But there was one of our staircases that took us right next to Ganon, right? As long as you just went ahead and you bombed in, so not the worst in the world if we start taking some staircases.
So, it's very, very close right now. Unless there's like Dig Dog or shenanigans.
Incredibly close. EMS has not quite gotten the map as of yet, so there is a big differential in that regards. Doesn't realize that there's no real, there's not much to the left of where they are right now, save for that one room that we just saw there. And going ahead and hunting for Zelda is going to be a bit of a challenge, potentially. Now that is the room that Shton was in, the one that EatMySteel's in, where you can hear the beast. So now EatMySteel has heard. If that bomb wall opens on the left, which is where the beast is right there, then that's going to get EatMySteel in front of Ganon sooner.
Yeah, but we still have no idea where Zelda is.
She could be connected to Ganon's room going up. By the way, they are in fact...
Bombs!
Oh, could be connected to Ganon's room. Let's see how this fight goes. This will be
close. Oh my god! Are we gonna have a tiebreaker? Holy shit!
Alright, well, we got the stun lock over on Shton's side.
Are we gonna have... Is it gonna be a direction of which way is gonna be Zelda? Oh my gosh.
Find out. Both of them gone ahead and killed the pig.
Oh.
No Zelda to the left.
Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, is this happening? Is this actually happening?
Zelda above! EatMySteel!
Oh my god!
Oh my
Oh my
goodness
god.
gracious,
This
what a decision there! With a racetime.gg finish of 1 hour, 21 minutes, and 4 seconds, EatMySteel taking the win, Shton trailing by 2 seconds.
Holy crap!
Wow!
That woke me up.
Woof! What a steal! Oh, I can't wait to get
what
this.
Oh my god!
Wow. What an actual...
I think it's the closest race we've had this in this tournament so far.
Yeah, so far that I feel like that has absolutely been. That's unbelievable. I mean, last tournament we had one that got so close where it was down to, we had to count the frames and everything, but oh my goodness gracious. I hope we get them both at the same time. Guys, this is not, I promise you this is not scripted. Shton, welcome, GG.
Oh, thank you, GG's.
That was something. I would love for EMS to be joining us in a moment here, because I think that aside from the context of what was happening early race, and the lead was going back and forth from person to person to person, and you guys killed Ganon at almost the same time. One of you went left and one went up.
Well, sometimes that happens. But
Oh,
That
I,
was amazing, though.
yeah, no, that's my first thought was I wonder if he went up or not as soon as I saw his dot done right before mine. But you know, if I could count to 10 and not run out of bombs in nine, wouldn't have mattered. But here we are.
I was gonna say, what was the goal of going ahead and popping back into 9? Like, was that you were looking to find some bomb droppers in there that you were investing the time and the energy and the effort into 9 towards the end?
Yeah, I mean, I think the only bomb droppers in there were 5 HP, and so unless you found something on the floor or whatever, I heard Gannon at one point. I think I used my last bomb trying to get into the room, and I think I bombed the wrong wall or something. I don't remember exactly. So, and finally, I decided, well, there is a bomb shop not too far away. I might as I need to just eat my loss and go buy some bombs. So,
which is fair. And by the way, welcome to the booth, EatMySteel. GG's for tonight.
Yo, GG's, Sean. Holy cow.
Same.
I thought I was dead and buried a long time ago. I got just the most lucky 9 in the world.
It's watching it from the commentator's booth right now. Like, I'll tell you, we saw so EatMySteel, man, that one room in 2. Oh, watching you go back to 8 to go and find the ladder in 8 was it was heartbreaking.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I thought it was dead.
And with the hints that you had, so Shton ended up buying some hints eventually. I know you went pretty early on the save scum, so you had the information on the silver arrow hanging around in 6 that Shton didn't pick up until much later in the game. You had the recorder hint. You had a bunch of different pieces, but that one room, I have to ask, did you just track that you had caught that room, or was it something that you had glossed over?
I was in there early. I didn't have keys, so it was a key door. And on the ladder block up north, I was like, well, it's either one key door, the one room, or it's the room past the ladder block. So I was like, well, it might just be the ladder block. I'll come back. This will be the last thing I get back to. Like, I just had it in my head that probably wasn't the ladder. And sure enough, that one room it was.
So yeah, I was gonna ask, how did you feel when you found that ladder?
Oh, I knew exactly where it was as soon as I figured it out. I was like, red candle at 8. What? No. What? Like, it took me a second. I was like, oh, that one room. It was the one room. I knew exactly where it was eventually.
It was a tough one, and then watching you go through 8 and then getting that red candle, and then there was just like a pause. And
that was the pause.
Take a look at the map. Where do I go next? What did I miss? And it was Shton, had the early offense. That white sword came very early, and that was the same time EMS you picked up the red ring, and then all of a sudden that benefit on both sides was closed, where you each got the opposite person's items so quickly, and then the bow was early for EatMySteel, and then the bow shot. It was like everything was coming in from 2 completely different angles for the both of you.
It was going back and forth for quite a bit.
I felt so far behind most of that. I got handed a couple of times in a couple of really bad spots. I was looking at my tracker or something. I looked back in a hand. I was like, oh, god damn it.
And I mean, that last moment, we were saying it to Shton just before you joined EatMySteel, but like, you guys were fighting Ganon at the exact same time. Shton beat Ganon technically faster and went left when the doors opened, and you went up. And that was the differentiator in that particular fight. It was a tough one. Well,
just the old rule in 9, just go up, right?
Well, I know that Ganon fight in Zelda finding that's gonna be making the clip show eventually of this tournament.
Yeah, I thought I heard Ganon earlier and I didn't. I thought I heard a blip in the manhandler room. That's why I went down and I killed that one. And it was like checking to hear it. It wasn't there, and then I took a couple stairs and thankfully just took the right stair over there.
And so at the core, I mean, how did you guys feel overall about the seed? I know we've poked a little bit at there, but holistically, how are each of your experiences going through this?
I felt like I made too many mistakes to win. I found that I finally remember there was a hint shop and forgot I had book. It was right. It was on the coast, right next to the coast ladder spot, and I got them switched in my mind. Went back to get it and realized, oh, that's wand. Oh, I already have book. I mean, just dumb stuff like that. And then I already talked about running out of bombs at 9. So, like you, Steel, I thought I was toast long ago.
I ran out of bombs in 2 and 1. Like, I had farming bombs. I getting handed just everything I thought I could possibly do wrong. I absolutely did wrong. Bad early deaths.
Well, I guess we're evenly matched then, because we both played poorly and still gave a show.
My jaw is still on the floor after you finished. Instantly after I was done, I was like, never mind the fact that I was gobsmacked that I finished first. Then all of a sudden you were like right there. I was like, I about fell over. I was just like sitting here with my mouth open for about 30 seconds.
Yeah. Somebody's already, PDX Rex has already clipped it. Your face.
Yeah, that was quite a thing. So this is only week 1. What a way to do week 1 of the Swiss part of this tournament here. Oof. A lot ahead, and 1 loss here and 1 win here. I mean, it is not as impactful when we have 6 weeks, and everyone who's doing 3-3 for a record is going to be moving on to that 64, and that's when the real fun begins to start.
And the week is still not over yet.
Oh yeah, there's a bunch of races left, I think, right?
Oh yeah, we have until end of day on Sunday, I think, or roughly in the afternoon, evening of Sunday, to go ahead and get everybody together and get everything straightened out, so we can figure out what the next set's going to look like. And I'd say at least slightly less than half are still left to go. Churn through for the rest of the week. So it's been something, right? And for you two, it's been a huge race. And we shared the stats earlier. I'm going to bring it up really quickly before we call it a day over here. But the two of you guys have gone head-to-head exactly 2 times. Each of you have taken a win going head-to-head. By the way, all the credit to Potato Pony for this stat list here. But between that, you two have shared 35 common races. And EMS, you had the edge a little bit going into this one too. But realistically speaking, like, this was an even match. This was anyone's game going in. I think that was incredibly proven by the final room that we just ran into there. Impressive work from both you runners.
Well, thanks. It was fun. And yeah, good luck to you going forward, and maybe hopefully we can meet in the brackets or something.
Oh yeah, I fully expect you to be in the brackets, man. Good game. It's a crazy one.
Cool. Well, with that in mind, taking a look at the hour, are there any final comments from EatMySteel, Shton, that either of you have?
No, as always, thank y'all for commentating and tracking and restream. I always enjoy it when we get on the air, and appreciate y'all doing that for us, especially staying up late.
Yeah, ditto. Absolutely.
Well, I will say that very close finish woke me back up as I was drifting off a little towards the end. But GG, you guys.
GG.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
GG's.
Thank you both so much. And I'll also throw out there while we have the opportunity. Everybody take an opportunity to follow our runners over here. These were 2 great runners. This is a great match. They go ahead and they stream on their own that are not necessarily on these in these races that we're looking at here. Both entertaining, both fantastic. Show up there, give them a follow. Costs nothing to do that. Help support the pieces that are going on and supporting this the community over here. Also, thank you, by the way, SpeedGaming, for putting these things on. You and the Zelda 1 Randomizer channel and any other restreamers that are going on are doing a fantastic job to get these out there in the public. The more people that we see showing up in these races, not just showing up, but showing up to the races, the more popular this gets, the more we can put this on, the more people are going to do commentary, the more people are going to do tracking. We grow not just linearly, we grow exponentially. So anybody who's out there who's not a part of the community yet, throw your name in the ring. Click on that Discord link from earlier. Come join us. Do some commentary. Do some tracking. Play in our matches. Help us grow. We're one of the nicest, friendliest communities out there that you can think of. And I will also say thank you, incidentally, to Cameo and Renakai for doing a fantastic job of tracking. And K-Tap, thank you so much for commentating with me. It's always a pleasure to have the opportunity to sit in this booth with you and talk.
It's always a pleasure to work with you and just do this, because you are great. Thank you, runners, for giving us a show to watch and stuff. Thank you, SpeedGaming, for allowing us to restream, especially this late at night. Thank you, Camion, for tracking and stuff. And once again, thank you, Neo, for joining me in the booth, because it's always, as I say, it's always a pleasure to work with you.
All right, well, on that note then, the last thank you. Good night. We're shutting it down. Have a good evening, everybody. Look forward to seeing you in some future matches.